Hope you are all fine. Today we are going to start physics lecture of class 2nd year. We are starting from chapter 1. So let's start. Assalamu alaikum. My name is sayab Arshad and you are watching Homework tutorials. So let's start our first chapter, electrostatics. Our first chapter is electrostatics. Electro means charge and statics mean at rest. So the definition of electrostatic is the charge is at rest. In this chapter we will study two types of electrostatic forces. The number 1 is the force of attraction and number 2 the force of repulsion. We will study these forces under the light of Coulomb's law. Coulomb is the scientist which uses torsion balance to explain the force between two electric charges. The Coulomb law states that the magnitude of an electrostatic force is directly proportional to the product of two charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Now we are moving toward the diagram of Coulomb's law. Number 1. There are two positive charges and the distance between them is r. Q1 is applying a force on Q2. But in the second diagram, there are also two charges Q1 and Q2 and the distance between them is r. But in this case, Q2 is applying an electrostatic force on Q1. Now we are moving toward its mathematical equation. So let's start. As mentioned in its definition that force is directly proportional to the product of its charges. As we mentioned in the second part of the definition that the force is inversely proportional to the square of distance between the two charges. On taking these two equations, we get that F directly proportional to the product of two charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Now, taking K as the constant of proportionality, K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So, we will get the equation as F is equal to the K, Q1, Q2 and divided by r square. By putting the value of K in this equation, we get that force is equal to Q1 Q2 over 4 pi epsilon naught r square. This is the final equation of Coulomb's law. Now moving toward the diagram. The unit vector r12 is pointing from Q1 to Q2 and unit vector r21 is pointing from Q2 to Q1. So from these diagrams we get two types of equation. The first equation is that the force F12 is equal to K Q1 Q2 over r square unit vector r21 and force 21 is equal to K Q1 Q2 over r square r unit vector 1 2. From these two equations we get that unit vector r12 is equal to minus unit vector r21. The minus sign is indicating the opposite direction of the unit vector. Now moving forward, we get that force F21 is equal to minus time F12. The same case is there in this equation that minus sign is indicating the opposite direction of the forces. Now moving forward toward our next topic, Coulomb's law in the material medium. Now first of all, I will explain you the definition of permittivity. Permittivity is defined as the property of a medium which affects the magnitude of the electrostatic force. We denote permittivity by the symbol of epsilon, and its value in a vacuum chamber is epsilon naught equal to 8.85 into 10 raised to power minus 12 Coulomb square divided by Newton meter square. Now moving forward toward relative permittivity. Relative permittivity is equal to the permittivity of a medium divided by the permittivity of vacuum chamber. So from this we can write a Coulomb force like that. Force in a medium is equal to the Q1 Q2 over 4 pi epsilon r square, and in a vacuum it is equal to Q1 Q2 over 4 pi epsilon naught r square. As I mentioned before, relative permittivity is equal to permittivity of medium divided by permittivity of vacuum. Now we can find the value of permittivity of the medium from this equation. So it is equal to relative permittivity into permittivity of a vacuum. So put this value in the first equation, we will get that force in medium Q1 Q2 divided by 4 pi E relative into epsilon naught r square. Now we can see that this whole value is equal to force in a vacuum. So we can write it also as force in a medium is equal to force in vacuum over relative permittivity. This is the final answer. Hope that you like our lecture. If you have any query, tell me in the comment box. For more videos, keep watching Muhammadian's tutorial. Allah Nigeman.